Hi guys! So I bet you are shocked to discover that I have bought yet another planner. I really had no justification for this, but it was so beautiful that I couldn't help it, and it was Amazon Prime. So this is a Paperblanks 2016 to 17 18-month weekly planner. It's horizontal. As you might know, I am a huge fan of Paperblanks planners. I just think that they're really beautiful. They all have these amazing covers and really good paper quality and other wonderful attributes which I will discuss in a minute. I did a review of a few different planners from the Paperblanks range nearly a year ago, but I thought I would show you this one because it has some different features, and also many of you might not have seen those reviews, so I just like to spread the Paperblanks love. So Paperblanks planners come in quite a few different sizes. Interestingly, they don't correspond to any of the standard sizes. So there's one that's a bit bigger than A5 but smaller than B6. There's one that's a bit smaller than A5, and then there's one that's like kind of I think there is an A6 size, but they all have different names. This one is called Midi, and the Midi seems to me to be a B6. It's halfway between A5 and A6, and I think that's a really nice size, which you don't see that often. I know there are some B6 stationery products available, but it just compared to the other sizes, to A5 and A6, you don't see it that often. And I think it's really nice because it's a good compromise if you feel like A6 is a bit too small, which I sometimes do, and you know that A5 might be a bit too big. And incidentally, these also are the perfect size to fit inside the personal size Disc Agenda Serene covers, which is really exciting. So I ordered this because I just love this cover design, and as I've said before, the Paperblanks planners always have these incredible hardback embossed covers, and they have a whole different range. There's some that are like Art Nouveau or based on more kind of modern artists, and then there's some that are based on like medieval illuminated manuscripts or like Japanese prints, all kinds of different incredible designs, and they always give you a description in the back telling you what the art is. So this one is called Ocean Song, and it just has this little description in the back, which I'll read quickly. Laurel Birch was a self-taught artist with an unmistakable style that was the manifestation of her love of life and fertile imagination. She created vibrant and moving themes with paint and paper exquisitely embellished with gold and silver. And I think one of the things that drew me to it was, for one thing, just how happy and vibrant it is and the colors. And the other thing that I like about it is that it says, close your eyes and dream a dream and seek the courage to make it real. Reflect on the past, envision the future, and embrace today with an open heart and soul. So how could that not make you happy? And as you can see, the decoration goes all over the front and back. I'll just take this sticker off so that you can see what it looks like without anything in the way. It's just really, really beautiful. And the interesting thing about this planner, which I wasn't expecting, is that it's in German. So Paperblanks has a few different international, like kind of localized versions of their planners. And the ones that I've seen before were always in English. There was one that seems like an international one that has a whole bunch of holidays listed for all different countries, like many, many different countries. And then I've also had a version that's like a localized kind of British Isles version. So this one I wasn't expecting to be in German because I ordered it from UK Amazon. If you can hear dogs growling in the background, Tails and Mochi are playing. So anyway, so it must have come from a German stock, which I'm absolutely fine with. I'm happy about that. And actually it has some interesting features that I wanted to show you. But I'm sorry, that's more dog revelry in the background if you can hear that. But I wasn't expecting it. So just if you order this from UK Amazon, bear in mind it might be in German when it arrives. So this is the title page, and it has the usual name, address, phone number. And then here it has something which I don't remember seeing in the English ones. It says, this planner is very important to me. If you find it, like, I would be very delighted if you would let me know. So then we go on to the year on one page calendar. And this is where it first gets interesting because it has a feature that I haven't seen on the English ones, which I think is really nice. I'm not sure how well it's coming up on camera, but hopefully you can see that the Sundays are all in red and also the holidays. So these are holidays, like official holidays in German-speaking countries. And I think that that's a really nice touch. And as you'll see, there's some red throughout the planner. Hobonichis are like this, obviously, and some other planners, like the personal planner, does that. But this is something that the English Paperblanks don't have. And I think that it's really nice just because it adds a touch of color, not necessarily because I, need to know when Sundays are, but I just think it looks nice. So it's a Monday start, which I think is standard for European planners. The British ones are like that as well. And then it has these symbols, which will be used on the month on one page spreads, which I really like and I haven't seen in any other planner. So it has phases of the moon, which you do sometimes see, and then it has these little symbols for the beginning of spring, the beginning of autumn, the winter solstice, the summer solstice, and the beginning and end of summertime. And then it has this little space for notes at the bottom. So you have 2016 overview and 2017 overview of the whole year. Then it has a list of holidays for Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, which is very nice because it's quite inclusive. It includes the Jewish holidays and Muslim holidays. And then you have that for 2016 and 2017. And then we get to the month on one page spread. So I think that this is a little bit weird for me because it's printed like this, so you have to turn the book around. It's like a wall calendar. And I understand why they've done that. It's because of the shape of the book, because it's quite small. If you had it this way around, it's the wrong shape, so you'd have to make the calendar much smaller and then have note space at the bottom, which I think is how Moleskine does it. So they've opted for doing it like this, which sort of gives you the traditional calendar layout. This would bug me if I was using this. I'm not going to be using this as my main planner, obviously, because I have like 57 main planners already. I'm going to be using this as a meal planner, and so I won't need this monthly layout, I don't think. Although maybe if we get more into it, then maybe we will use it. But in fact, it's very small anyway. So these boxes, if you think this is a B6 size, the boxes are quite small. Like you could really only fit, let's say, I'd say definitely not more than one word per row. It's not lined, so you could, just write one big word, or you could write, kind of like a couple of bullet points, but you really wouldn't be able to get more than that in. So I don't think that this is extremely functional, but if you wanted to use it just for some kind of like shorthand, or for like maybe tracking like water intake, or things where you just needed to tick, like kind of very concisely, it would work for that. And again, it has the holidays and the Sundays in red, and it kind of has the days before the month start or after the month ends are in grey. So I think really nice touch, and the name of the month is in red as well. So I think aesthetically it just looks really nice. I also like their font, and the paper is beautiful. It's fountain pen friendly. It's very, very nice paper. It's quite thick, smooth, and kind of cream colored. So if you compare it to, let's say this is James's Disc Agenda Manta, which I have to hand, you can see hopefully it's much more creamy compared to that, which is like quite a, sort of stark white color. So I really, really like the paper. It has a very nice feel to it. And it starts in July. All of this information would be the same for the English language ones. It's just that it's in German, but the format is the same. So if you got an 18-month Paperblanks planner that was in English, it would look the same as this. Depending on the size, in the bigger formats, like the Ultra, which is a bit bigger than A5, and I think the Maxi, which is a bit smaller than A5, you have the month on one page the other way around because there's more room. Oh, no, in those I think that they actually do 2 months per page. So it's vertical, but you have like 1 month here and then the next month here, which I also think is a shame. So that goes until December 2017. And then there's a list of school holidays in Germany and Austria. And then there's a timetable. So a blank timetable, which obviously, because this is an academic calendar, the 18-month calendar. So I think that this is quite a nice touch if you're a student or a teacher. That would be useful. Or if, like myself, you wanted to use this for meal planning and you are not a great fan of like kind of switching things all the time, and you wanted to have like a nice schedule, which is something that I've often contemplated doing, just to set out a kind of like mock week. So to say, this is what we have on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so that if we are really busy and we don't, we forget to do the meal planning, and we don't have time to do it the night before, which is like kind of the ideal, that we'd have like a ready-made week, so we could just say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I think that it would be really useful for that, and that in fact is what I'm going to attempt to do with it. So you get 2 pages, 4 pages of that, which is really nice, and then you get a blank page of notes. This is another thing I like about these, is that they often give you these blank notes pages just with a frame around the outside, unlined. And then we have the beginning of the calendar. So it starts at the end of June 2016. And again, it gives you the Sundays in red, which I think is a really nice touch, and then also holidays. So this is Laylat al-Qadr, and it puts that in red as well. So I think it just adds like a nice bit of color. And then you have this little calendar at the bottom where it also puts the Sundays and the holidays in red, and it underlines the current week, which is nice. One thing I really like about these is that they give you equal space per day, including the weekends. So as you know, that's like one of my particular pet hates, is shared weekends. So I really like this layout, and then it gives you this bit of extra space at the bottom for notes. There's also lines, which I like as well, depending on what you want to use it for. If it's something like where you're going to be doing a lot of decorating, which is what I was doing when I was previously using one of these, then the lines are no good, they just get in the way. But if it's something like meal planning, or if you just want, you know, like kind of bullet lists, then it's really useful having the lines. So again, Monday start, and then you just get your week on 2 pages, and that continues. It gives you the week number at the top, which I never actually use, but I kind of enjoy seeing it. Like whenever I notice what week it is, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then I kind of forget about it because it doesn't really, you know, practically make much difference to me, but kind of like having it there. And it just kind of goes on like that. So you get the month on the top left, and then the year on the top right. And then when it switches over, it gives you both of the months, so the incoming month and the outgoing month, and then also the year 2016, 2017, and this is where it switches over. And then it goes up until the end of December 2017. So it's quite a nice compact planner. As you can see, it's not too thick. It, you know, it would fit really nicely in any bag, or it doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's 18 months, so you get a lot of planner here for your money. And it has 2 bookmarks, which is a really nice feature. So one of them is red, and then the other one is like a kind of champagne beige color. So you could use one for the months and one for the weeks. And then at the end, we have a list of international holidays for 2016 and 2017. And then you have a 2018 and 2019 year on 1 page calendar. And then, you know, some of the stuff that you get in Moleskine as well, which I would prefer actually that they left out, and I would rather just have note pages. But I know that there are a lot of people who do use this information. So like international dialing prefixes, time zones, conversion tables for clothes and shoes, and then weights and measures, and temperature conversion. And then you do get 3 lined note pages at the back. And then a pocket like the Moleskines and Leuchtturms, and then you also get this address book, which is, it's quite a nice one. I don't really use these, but I think that this one is very well done. And I think you could also use this not only as an address book, you could use it for keeping information like passwords, which is really inconvenient if you're using this as your main planner and you wanted, you know, like information that you want to transfer from year to year, you could easily repurpose it and use it for that. And so it's very nicely done and it's aesthetically pleasing. And again, I really like the font and it's very well done, the look of the paper, and the cover is this kind of like nice sort of thick cardstock. And that's the back. And something I really like about Paperblanks is how you don't see this on very many planners. I don't think I've seen this on any other planner or notebook, in fact, how the elastic band at the back, instead of being attached from the back so that it cuts into the back, it's attached here so it goes into the pocket, so that when you close it, the back is completely seamless. And I think that that's a really, really nice touch, because usually, you know, like with these elastic bands, it's not a big thing, but usually it kind of like cuts into the sort of back, and sometimes it will, you know, would interfere with the design if there's a design on the back. So I think that this looks really nice, and then it keeps your book closed and it's beautiful. So that is the 2016-17 Paperblanks MIDI Horizontal Weekly Planner. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you're curious about it and you have any questions that I didn't answer in the video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!